So when I understand that, okay, I I don't need to be the best developer in the company. I just have to have the best people around me. And at that point, I start working with a business consultant and coach. Firstly, we work like on limiting beliefs, because when you have a belief that you do better work than the rest, you're the one who creates the best code, the best websites, it's hard to delegate and elevate
Delegate,
yourself
yeah.
on some next level. So when I understand that, okay, I don't need to be the best developer in the company. I just have to have the best people around me, and I run the company. I introduce to clients, I meet people, I do the networking, the events, and so on. That was like one of the maybe most important things to handle first inside yourself. Then you start delegating more to the people. So for me, it was like hiring a business consultant and a coach who helped me to solve that. You have to craft like a custom strategy, because not all the things work for everyone. I think that's like your question, like how to perform the best, but it's mostly consistency. Then once you decide the strategy, you have to be consistent with what you do, like everything in life.
Today I have a guest who's made a big transition, just like a lot of founders nowadays, from tech to business side. Please welcome Milan, and I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Hey, Olya. First, I want to say thank you for inviting me to this podcast. I'm Milan Savov, and I own SmartClick for 7 years now, which is agency who serves B2B customers to grow their organic leads and attract leads with high intent to convert after that into customers.
You mentioned that you come from a tech background. How did you manage to go through the transition from tech to business? Talk us through like the ugly phase of that.
Yeah. So it was huge process, and it was not easy at all. When I first started working as a developer and a freelancer, I always had like a vision to have a business, but I don't know how to do that. And I had like a chance to start SmartClick when some of the customers asked me to open a company so we can work much better than me as a freelancer. And then I had my first employee who came here as a web developer. So at that point, I was still thinking a lot as a web developer. I was thinking how to create better websites, better code, to serve them better. But I still don't have the idea how to manage a team, build a team, delegate better. And maybe after 3 years after the beginning of SmartClick, I was like lost what to do, how to manage people, how to handle everything. And at that point, I started working with a business consultant and coach. Firstly, we work like on limiting beliefs, because when you have a belief that you do better work than the rest, you're the one who creates the best code, the best websites, it's hard to delegate and elevate
Delegate,
yourself
yeah.
on some next level. So when I understand that, okay, I don't need to be the best developer in the company. I just have to have the best people around me, and I run the company. I introduce to clients, I meet people, I do the networking, the events, and so on. That was like one of the maybe most important things to handle first inside yourself. Then you start delegating more to the people. So for me, it was like hiring a business consultant and a coach who helped me to solve that.
Did you come to a conclusion yourself that you needed somebody to help you like break through the limiting beliefs? So was it maybe somebody's advice who basically like moved you into that direction?
Uh, mm, it happened something like naturally. I met that person on some events, and I don't know, something attracts my attention. By that time, I didn't even know that there are limiting beliefs who stops us to make further. But when we started discussing like more private topics, then I understand that it's not about the technical thing which you sell. You should like show care to your customers, and when you think technically, you don't see the rest of the things. You don't connect on a personal level too much with the customers. You just try to deliver more and more better on performance based websites or whatever it is.
So when you worked with the coach, and he identified the limiting beliefs for you, was it like easy for you to accept that this is what's happening, and understanding that you have to work through that in order to, I guess, let's put it this way, unlock a new level? I'm speaking about on this terms because I also work with the coach, so I understand it from like inside out as well.
Yeah. First, you have to be like very open minded. In I am that kind of person. I'm really open minded to discuss, to accept other thoughts and opinions. But at the very beginning, it was hard for me to actually understand it. It took a time until I understand that it's okay that you shouldn't be the best, and you start accepting the things which are happening. And at that point, when you understand it, it's much more easier. But it took time, definitely. So just be open minded and uh, give the if you decide to work with someone like a coach or whatever it is to help you overcome some issue which you're having, just be open to changes. It's hard to exit from that comfort zone which we have.
My personal limiting belief was that I need to be like working super hard, otherwise I don't deserve anything. Like it
Yeah,
needs to
yeah,
be
yeah.
me to do everything. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's very
and then
sounds very familiar for me because I've
then you
definitely been.
understand that then you understand that you don't have to work super hard, but you have to work smarter, strategically, to achieve
Exactly,
much better, to like do a retrospective to what are you doing to just to improve on a daily basis.
exactly. Oh, what are your thoughts on, because I've seen like a lot of times lately, kind of like the same post pop in on my LinkedIn feed.
Mm.
Basically, how everybody from Silicon Valley is now saying that, you got to be doing they call it 996. So working from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 6 days a week in order to really like make it as a founder, and that Europe needs to like step up its game. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I'm not huge fan of that, like working all day. Again, it depends what success means to you. If it means that
Right.
you must work and you will success only if you work 12 hours a day, then you can do it. But again, it's important in which phase of your life you are. If you're pretty young and you have time to experiment, to work all day, maybe it's fine to do that in the very beginning until you don't have the knowledge, the skills, the network, and so on. But when you grow, you have to find a way how to manage your time, how to have your life also on, because we're all humans. So if you only work and that's the only thing which you do during the day, probably you will have some burnout very soon. So I'm mostly fan of structured work, working on priorities, and putting focus like only on those things who actually can help you grow the business, not doing everything. For the rest, you can hire assistants or other people who can help you do the rest, or now the AI, the chat GPT, and so.
Yeah, for sure. I think there are a lot of things that could be outsourced so you can focus your
Yeah,
time and your energy on things that actually move the needle.
yeah.
Um, what are so now you mentioned a little bit of the work-life balance. What are some of the like non-negotiables for you as somebody who runs an agency in order to like protect your energy and protect your sanity?
I'm setting up a priorities. I plan my week in advance, so every Saturday and Sunday night I sit down with myself and do the planning. Uh, my priority is health firstly, because if you're not healthy, you can't do anything. So I schedule time for exercise, for good food, for having some time for yourself, because without that, I don't believe that someone else could do a lot. So you have to maintain first yourself, then show example to the people who are with you that you're caring for yourself, so you can care for them and you can care for the company. So this is not non-negotiable. And time with the family. So I also end up around 3 p.m. every day, so I can spend the rest of the time at home with my kids, with my wife, because this is again really important driver. Who, if that doesn't exist, then why we are doing everything which we do.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. It's like, why you even doing it? Because I'm kind of in the same mindset right now.
It's kind of values. What do you value most? So if you
Exactly.
value more achievement for any price, then you will put all your hours in the work. But again, if you prioritize well and you put those 20% who move the needle in these hours which you plan to be at office or whatever it is, then you can move the needle and have a team who can help you with the rest.
Exactly. Exactly. Do you do any, I guess, mentorship for your own team? And if you do, like, what do you prioritize when you do those like mentorship hours with them?
Uh, Currently in our company, we have like two departments. I'm running the sales and marketing, and my partner is running the delivery. We have like a culture, people who know something to share to the others. So we're building our systems based on our knowledge base. So everyone who comes here can access to our SOPs and how we create things. And there is like a tutorials for that. And I love to be like a company who learn by itself. So people here are sharing. But again, when it comes to mentorship, um, I first invest a lot in myself so I can be a better leader and mentor to the rest of the team. So usually people know a lot, but you need to help them to understand that they know a lot, so they can like provide their best at work here. Uh, so yeah, it's definitely that's something we're doing.
How do you usually do the onboarding? Like, is some sort of a, let's call it, business counseling? Is it part of it?
Mm-hmm. Usually we have like a kickoff call with our customers, and on that call, previously they send us like their ICP, their market, everything about their business. But then on that kickoff call, we're digging deeper into that part.
How do you make sure that you deliver value to the clients? Do you work against certain KPIs? So how does it
Yeah,
work?
yeah. So once we start working with the customer, after the first month, we have like a blood analysis of their business. And we know the current situation, and then we sit on a call and set up KPIs. What's that which they want to achieve with us? So we're setting the KPIs, and then the team on a weekly basis are reporting what we actually did and what are the results out of it and what is the next plan. So we know that we're on the right track. And if there is any feedback, they can share it. They can alert if something is not going well. So we can be in the loop all the time, following the main results. And we always try to relate the activities to be based with their business objectives, not just bringing more traffic with the SEO, but what that
Hmm.
traffic will mean for them, which results in more MQLs at the end of the week or the month.
And I guess like a certain qualification rate for those leads, right?
Yeah. So each lead has a criteria, what exactly MQL means for each business. Does it field form or demo or trial or whatever it is, but they had to approve, is this lead qualified or
Okay.
it's not.
Hmm. I think we could do like a mini, let's call it a fireside chat about what are the red flags to watch out for if you're a startup who is trying to hire an agency. Because I'm sure you've
Mm-hmm.
heard some bad examples from
Yeah,
maybe your clients about other
they're
agencies. So I
always
think it would be really good to discuss that now. So what would be, imagine is the startup founders listening right now, what would be, and if they're and they want to hire an agency, what would be like red flags that they should absolutely watch out for?
red flag is if someone is not discussing like what are their business objectives, business values. If someone focus only on traffic, maybe they will bring traffic to them, but will that help them move the needle to the business? So it's important to understand the SEO agency or the agency to understand that they're here to help them increase their business and not just increase their traffic. Another thing which they should be aware is the people behind the company. So they can investigate through LinkedIn or whatever it is who stands behind, because a lot of companies are not even presenting their team on the websites or on LinkedIn. So it could happen one man to run all of these sectors, which is usually impossible to deliver quality. So
Right.
they can represent as content, SEO strategies, backlink builder, and so on, but it's not possible for one person to do all of that. I don't know.
So you mentioned in our prep that you work with very specific like niche of clients, so B2B SaaS with a certain
Yeah.
amount of revenue. So if somebody is reaching out to you and they're not at all in this category, would you turn them down?
It depends from the business. So this is how
Okay.
we communicate our messaging and our outreach efforts. But we have customers who are not uh, in our ICP, but has potential to actually use SEO as a channel.
So the reason why I'm asking this is because I think, like from my perspective, when I was working at startups and hiring an agency, for me, a prerequisite was that the agency must have experience working with a similar business, because otherwise, I believe it takes them too long to understand, the business model, the product, etc. So would that be something that you would agree with?
Usually when that's the case, when we accept to enter in this cooperation, it is if the client has their own content team. So they know the business and they know how to communicate the value of the business. And we create the briefs, we do the research, send to their content,
Mm-hmm.
they create the content, then we review and approve it. And after few months, we can then produce the content. That's the ideal scenario. But if they don't have a content team, which was the case with some of our customers, then it was hard to actually build that relationship in advance, because we don't have a person who can learn from the very beginning until we became like capable to produce content in specific niche. Again, there are some niches where you don't have the expertise to provide good value.
Right. Right. And it just like I guess extends the onboarding time, right? It just takes you a while to understand what the whole
Yeah,
thing is
yeah,
about.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That makes sense. Now that we've touched upon that, there is another, I think, big trend that I've seen on LinkedIn. Would love to get your thoughts on that. So
Mm-hmm.
there is a lot of discussion around whether or not SEO is still going to be valuable now that
Mm-hmm.
AI is doing a lot of searches. So there is this whole what is it called, like AI optimization versus search engine optimization. So, what are your thoughts on this overall? Like, where are we going? Should businesses be watching out for this? And are there some, I guess, rules that already exist in order how to optimize your content for AI searches?
Yeah, so everyone is saying like SEO is dead, but it happens maybe 10, 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
uh, I don't think that SEO is dead right now. It's evolving. So it's definitely evolving. And the way how people search and how people actually are looking for information is changing. So they change the habits, how they search for something. But still, you have to produce great content. So Google and AI can take that as a model and show that to you. Even if you are searching on ChatGPT, that content somewhere should be created, and it should be really, really relevant to the search intent. Again, Google is changing the view how they present the results, but they still have to find sources where that good content already exists. So even on Google or AI, you have to produce great content on your website, be relevant to the users, to know what kind of intent your users has when they want to read that part of content. So in that case, you will still appear on top of the results. Again, with a good strategy. It doesn't happen overnight. Uh, it's definitely evolving. I can't say will it die. We hope that it will last more, because I think people still use Google a lot.
Oh, for sure. I think it's also like depends on maybe less on generation, but also like on the profile of the person. For example, I mean, I'm clearly like fully tech enabled digital person.
Mm.
So very often I would go to AI instead of going to Google.
And when you want to buy something, maybe you will do the search on ChatGPT, but again, you will try to do the end search on Google to buy the product. And still on the AI searches, you can't actually follow or track the users what exactly they search, so they came to your website. So the measurements are still like in cloud. You don't know exactly. And when on Google, you know what they search and what they click, and they came to the website. You're tracking everything. This is still unknown area. Probably will happen soon, but still in fog.
Exactly, exactly. Um, what is your, I guess, like golden recipe for a good SEO strategy? Is it a combination of like evergreen plus trends? Like, how do you usually approach that?
Good SEO strategy. How we approach with our customers is when they give us like full ownership to the process. We usually do very deep analysis first to understand their situation. What are they currently doing? What's working? What's not working? So our team are consistent with SEO strategies, content writers, and web developers. So we try to improve the technical things and the content and SEO things. And when they are good, well done, then you have like a solid start to achieve great results. And after that, you have to craft like a custom strategy, because not all the things work for everyone. Uh, I think that's like your question, like how to perform the best, but it's mostly consistency. Then once you decide the strategy, you have to be consistent with what you do, like everything in life.
That's true.
And then there is like the communication and the cooperation with the customer. So they have to be open and share you everything about the business, to guide you through, to understand their business, so you can align with their marketing teams, with their goals, so you can work together on achieving like one that goal from the SEO channel.
Do you believe it's critical for any B2B business to be having an SEO strategy?
I think, yeah. So everyone who is using multi-channel, I think everyone work on their SEO. Maybe not everyone, but over 90%. So maybe businesses in the early phases doesn't invest a lot because they still test go-to-market strategy and so on. So they try PPC or whatever it is. But once they establish paid marketing and so on, they think about how to scale that further. So it's crucial to maybe strategically prepare about that step.
Is it so? But is it specifically for a certain stage of the business then? So, say if the tool is just starting out, do you think SEO is going to be critical for them, or should they focus more on, I guess, like more low hanging fruit such as cold outreach, etc.?
Maybe will not be critical. Again, it's strategic move. If they still don't know what exactly they will offer, how they product will look like in the next 6 or 12 months, it's not even good to start with positioning themselves as something which they wouldn't be in the next period. So until they test, it's not critical at all. Once they prove that there is market fit, they are good they know their audience. So at that point, it's nice to have. And there are companies who started that like a strategic move from the very beginning, but then they like increase their revenue exponentially. It's not like linear process. It takes time
Right.
until it ramps out, but once it will, then the growth happens.
Do you believe it's important for every piece of content to have some CTA, or do you think some content should just be sitting there more from like, I guess let's call it like subject authority perspective?
On the website or on LinkedIn?
Yeah, on the website. Like
On
say,
the
so for
website.
pure SEO purposes, right? If say there is a tool that helps, say, increase the revenue for startups, and all of their content is about how to increase the revenue, and whenever the traffic comes to maybe just educate themselves, right, about how to increase the revenue, do you think there needs to be a CTA at the end, in the middle, or somewhere along the way in the content? Or should it be more like, okay, if they read the article and they're interested in the brand, they'll check it out in the main navigation? I know it's like a super tactical question, but I think it's also it's a question that I know from my side has come
Mm.
up very many times as I've been head of growth for 7 years. So it's been a constant battle. So I would love to hear your thoughts on that.
What I think is, you first have to understand your buyer journey and how your customers are navigating through the website. So if that piece of content is independent and there is like nothing related to it, maybe it's okay to not put any CTA. But if you know that once they read this, they will need something else and then something else, so you know the journey, then on the content you will put some internal link to lead to the next blog post or something else, or maybe give them a chance to download some PDF or enter into the newsletter. So it's nice to keep them in the loop, because usually when we find something, we need something else and something else. So if you leave me without any choice to leave the page or and end here, it's even not good for the search engines, because the user leaves the page immediately. So it's always nice to give them the next step in their buyer journey. Even if it's not, if they're in the awareness stage, maybe we will give them more pieces of content which will just educate them more and more and more.
How do you feel about lead magnets? So basically, things that they need to download, and then they're being enrobed into the whole newsletter thing, etc.
It's part of the whole strategy of the journey. But if it has a value, I think they are nice thing to do. So uh, what is our philosophy with the lead magnet is to give them something valuable which is not on the blog post. And then again, you're giving value, but you're getting emails. So you're increasing your email users, which is again your treasure of the company. So you have more contacts. If there is reciprocity and you're creating it for giving something valuable, then it's fine. If you just do it like without any purpose and again ask for email, that there is no point to do any lead magnets.
Right, because they're not going to engage with you afterwards, anyways.
Yeah, they will not see the value, so it's just waste of their time and to read anything. Just
Exactly.
try to give value. If you're giving value, I think everyone will after that follow the newsletter or whatever it is which you're providing.
Do you have maybe an example from your clients where you maybe were not sure about how things were going to work out, and then actually got an amazing win out of it?
Usually people are scared in the very beginning. So we had like a very critical period with our customers around the month 3 and 6, because there is a month where you do the analysis, then you do the transformation, then you're setting up the strategy, and there's still no results. So
Right.
before a couple of maybe a year or two, they were starting to panic. But it was we received great feedback for a customer, uh, and at that point we started to thinking what we can do to our customers so they don't feel that nothing is happening, even there are still no results. And at that point, we implemented like weekly meetings with our customers where we are discussing what was done, what were the results, what the next plan, and they're more like relaxed about what's going on and are waiting for the results. But when something good happens in the very beginning, again, it happens with these low hanging fruits which are maybe missed in the previous, so they're
Mm-hmm.
pretty happy and satisfied because you're seeing some signal that this will work, and it gives you peace of mind to continue.
Right. Right. Um, how, like, do you then just stay engaged with the client for a long time, or what's your end goal overall? Do you want to help them develop that capability in house, or do you just stay as their, I guess, like SEO partner for a while?
By now, they're staying for us as a partner, so almost no one asks to like help them develop a team and then we step out. And to be honest, we never thought about it, and maybe it will be like a good service for the future, so we can help their team to grow and enable them to work without us. But by now we're still just serving as a service-based agency.
How do you see yourself as cliche question? How do you see yourself in 5 years? But I'm
I see
truly
myself
curious.
as an investor and as a business consultant. My personal vision is to enable these SaaS businesses with knowledge base about their phases, consult them, and then invest in them more. So as accelerator, company should be accelerator to these SaaS businesses in the early phases, startup.
I think it's a good vision. Um, Funny thing is, I was going to say, sorry, back to the example of you saying that, it takes some time for the SEO. That reminds
Mm,
me of, the working with the coach, because you don't see the
mm,
results right away. And I think there is also
exactly.
this phase where you're like, what? Like, I've already done so many sessions. I don't feel any results.
Yeah, yeah,
And then
yeah.
it's like, click, something
And
clicks.
everything
And
happens.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that's the case with everything in life. So we have to be patient and consistent with what we do, and have that big vision in our mind as a North Star. So if we have that, we are focusing on the process, not on the immediate results right now. Because maybe there will be time when in 1 year nothing will happen, but after that you will have the momentum to grow as a person, as a company.
exactly. Was there ever a moment during your, I guess, running the agency time that things did not feel great and you maybe thought about giving up or doing something else?
Of course, a couple of times. Uh, the one that first came into my mind is it was maybe 2.5 years ago. We were struggling to niche down because our background is freelancing and we had like a lot of customers, but none of them were related with anything. So we have startups, enterprise, big companies, small companies, SaaS business, medical business, and so on. And I was trying to find some pattern between these companies, and there was none. And then we tried to work with e-commerce business, but we struggled to find contacts from decision makers. We always
I
came to
see.
the support
Hmm.
centers, and we lose maybe 4 months within that loop. Then we switched to real estate. So we tried to target real estate companies in US. And then we found out that there are huge businesses like Keller Williams who provide them listings, potential customers, so they don't even need a website, not an SEO. Some of them has, but I'm not sure
Right.
how big the potential is. And then you're thinking in which direction I'm going. But then after a couple of discussion, we came up to this B2B SaaS segment, and we're still planning to niche down maybe in fintech or whatever it is, but it's still too early. But at that point, when we niche down, we figured out which events we should visit, what are our ideal buyer personas, how we should communicate our value proposition, and everything started to become more clear and clear. And then you have that again peace of mind that okay, this is it, the things will be better. So that was one of the things which like were very, very hard.
What kept you going in the hard times?
Interesting question. I don't know. I think it is the vision because I want to create like a self-expanding company
Hmm.
and having all of these sectors. We do right now SEO and web development, but every startup and SaaS business needs go to market strategy, needs web design, needs sales department, and I want to create like each of these units within our company and be like self-growing, self-sustainable. So this is some like a vision which I have, and maybe I'm not giving anything to stop me until I do it.
Honestly, that's great because I think that's how most of the companies survive. So I believe it's such an important thing to have when you start out on a business journey, the vision, because it can really take you through the hard times, even when things don't go right. And when you just have some I guess like again in cliche terms, like a mission that you want to fulfill,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
keep
yeah,
going, even if it's like if you have to turn left and right and like maybe change a little bit. But if you have this like big mission that you would like to deliver, this is what can truly like keep you going.
yeah, yeah. I'm a person who plays the long term game, so I don't expect anything quick to happen today and right now. And I know what I want in 5, 10 years. So maybe this is something which drives me.
Do you think it's like part of your upbringing that kind of like made you that way, or is it just something that you learned along your more like adult years?
I don't know, to be honest. uh, I think again it's maybe it's identity question. You know who you want to become, and when you know that, you're finding a way how to actually achieve that.
Makes sense. We're getting to my favorite part of the episode, which is called the homework. So
Mm.
there is a task that I ask every guest to give to the listeners. It should be something easy to execute, not something that will take them, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know, like 10 days to sit down and write something. It could be something that we have discussed during the episode. It could be completely something unrelated. So, Milan, what would be your homework for the listeners?
Mm. Interesting question. Um, what first come to my mind is like how do you spend your day and your week? Maybe they can do awareness test of how they're spending their time and detect those 20% of needle movers who can actually bring the results to the business and try to eliminate the rest and like get more time in the week and spend to something else which they enjoy.
I think that's a really good exercise. I
There
think,
is
and you're
like a
right, a lot of
framework, eliminate, delegate, and put EOD, I think it was called. So you detect all of the tasks which you're doing. You eliminate what you don't have to do anymore. You automate some of them. You delegate some of them, and then the rest which are on the list are those which are actually the needle movers.
I love that. I need to do it myself.
I
As a
can
one
send you the
woman
framework.
show, yes, please. As a one woman show, for sure, it's very important for me because I quite often find myself doing things that actually don't really move the needle, but
Mm,
it's more like, like a
juggling.
shiny object. And then at the end, you're like, okay, why did I just spend half a day doing that? Last question. What is the one thing that you know today, one truth or maybe one experience that you wish you could have shared with your younger self 5 or 10 years ago?
Oh, again, maybe uh, the one thing which I learned is surround yourself with people who are like your role models and someone who is already there where you want to go because they will give you experience, they will share the advices, so you don't have to do on your own everything which you think about that you must do. Again, this is something which I learned on the hard way because I didn't do that when I was young.
Another, I think, really good advice. And I think it goes back to what you mentioned at the very beginning. It's like you don't have to be the best coder, you don't have to be the smartest person
Yeah,
in the room.
yeah,
It's actually on the
yeah.
contrary. You need to be in the room with people who are smarter than you.
Just ask because and show that you're vulnerable, that you have weaknesses. If you show that and ask honestly that you need help with something, usually people will help you. If you don't, no one will even know that. But if you ask
Exactly.
the right people, which are like your role models, you're more on the right way.
Exactly. What is the best way for people to find you and get in touch if they would like to maybe require some SEO services?
I'm very active on LinkedIn, so maybe they can add me there as a connection. And our website is smartclick.agency. We have a contact form there so they can fill out their needs, and then we can have a call to see if we actually can help them.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time today. I truly
Thank
enjoyed
you
our
too for the
conversation.
invitation. Hope it will be valuable for the listeners.
I'm sure it will.